strategies. I that with Go Formative, it's a great way to live time kind of and see where your kids are at and do those quick formative checks and give feedback. I know that Chelsea kind of introduced it to me a year ago when she started to use it, and it's a really cool tool. So I enlisted her help and the help of Miss Fodor, who's been using it with her class digitally now, to lead this presentation. So I'm going to hand it over to Ms. Schellenbachler, who's going to lead us.
Okay, I'm going to present my screen. So I heard about Go Formative about a year ago from the math department. They kind of led some PDs about general education tools or online tools that you could use in your classroom. And from there, kind of, I used it a lot the past school year. So I'm going to share now. Okay, so when you go to Go Formative, you just type in goformative.com. It's going to bring you to this site, Formative. So when you do that, you can hit sign up or log in, and you're going to sign in with Google and teacher account. So here we go. So this is kind of like the dashboard of what you will see. As you can see, I have Formatives already created. I used a bunch of them the previous year. So I just added them all to a folder. So I did a lot of assessments that way because there's a lot of neat features. So what we're going to look at today, I made a lesson. So I'm just going to open it up. So this is an example of what a 6th grade science lesson could look like. So what I did is I took a picture of a close read and I uploaded it on here, and then I added questions. So this is like a short answer essay response type question, and then it'll grade them themselves. I just put general words that we're looking for here. However, you can go in and grade as well. I then added a multiple selection, and then you can also insert videos. So here I've inserted a YouTube video, and then after watching the video, they can then answer questions. So I added a show your work one. So this picture will come up, and then they have the opportunity to draw on it. So they can select the correct answer or draw on it. So you can upload any picture that you would like on here, and then instruct. Oops. Well, that undo. Sorry about that. Okay, so they can draw directly on it. So for example, for like math, they can graph. You could also, for history, you could put up a map, and they could draw or outline the colonies or something like that. Someone have a question? No? Okay. And then I just uploaded another YouTube video, and then I added some true and false about the video. So if I wanted to add anything else, this is a pretty user-friendly format. You just hit the plus sign, and then these are all of your options. So this is the free version that I have. As you can see, you have quite a few, just like adding content. So you can put a link in there, an image, text block, video, or whiteboard. And then these are the question types that are available. So with the free version that you have quite a few options. So I use the essay, I use multiple choice, I use the multiple selection, I use the show your work and true and false, all within this one mini lesson. So you can mess around with that, or and it's very simple. So if I wanted to add another multiple choice, I would just type the question in. What is your favorite weather? Just talk about, I'm gonna say sunny. You could put cloudy, windy, rain. Okay, and then to select the correct answer, you could select all of them. Well, this is a multiple choice, so you can't select all, so this isn't a great question, but if say we want to say that sunny weather is our favorite weather, then when the students answer the question, if it clicks any, then it will be marked as correct. So if I go back to, you can also assign this via Google Classroom. So you just upload your classes and you can sync them, and you click which one you would like to assign it to, and then it will assign. And so if I go to I'll give you an example, or actually if Justin and Sammy want to join or log on to the class. So when you assign these, you can see students answer questions. So as it's going, as you can see, we have one student has answered the question. So if you click on this, it says thermometer is a tool for temperature. So that was his response. So I would say that is a correct response. So I can just slide on over, and that green, it'll turn green now because I graded that. So I said that that's correct. And these will light up in real time. So as you can see, Sammy has only attempted 2 questions. So she answered the first one, and then the second one just popped up, that red block. So she answered the second one. That was a select all. So because she didn't select all the correct answers, it didn't give her 100%. So you can give them half credit by sliding on the screen, or full credit, and it'll change the color based on the question. So in real time, you'll be able to see your students. So I did this a lot of times, like in class, to give a test, because then I can see in real time, okay, who's actually attempting this test? Is there a question that everybody is not getting there? So maybe I should provide some feedback or support in that. So it's a nice tool in and outside the classroom. Okay, so any questions so far on this? Okay, Sam, did you?
Yeah, so I just started using it more recently. I've been doing like the grid teaching method a lot right before we went into our teaching from home. So I have a lot of good ideas for that. But just using it with distance learning has been so beneficial, mostly just because it is so easy for the kids to just click through. And because it syncs so well with Google Classroom, you can just post a link and it just has a picture of it and it takes them directly to it. So they don't need to, search around for the link. I like it specifically for distance learning because you can give individual feedback. So obviously it's been hard for us to give feedback to students. If we send them a message on email, they're like, what assignment is that? I don't know what you're talking about. I like it because you can directly go to the question that they're on. And like I had one student who did beautiful work. Like she knew what she was doing, but she had a 0. So I went in and looked at it, and she just, instead of just typing the answer, she was typing all of her steps. So I literally went in and I gave her the credit for it, and I just gave feedback like, hey, you did beautiful work, but you just did a little too much in the answer part. So it was nice to just be able to go back and fix it for her, as well as give feedback. Another way I'd use it for distance learning is that you can have the students see at the end if their answers are right or not, and then if they can edit it again. So I like to give my students, just because it is distance learning, a couple attempts. If they're going to take that to their advantage, I'd like for them to at least attempt it a couple times if they don't get the score they want. So sometimes I won't show them the correct answer, and I want them to kind of do some investigating. Anyone can just write down, oh, the answer was 49. I'll just go back and type it in right away again. But this allows them to at least have to figure out maybe what they did wrong using my feedback or their own investigation. So it's just not a freebie answer. I mean, there's probably ways around it, but at least you're trying to prevent it. Just like what Chelsea showed, the videos on there have been awesome for my students, I think. It's just, it's not leading them to another site like, hey, before you do this, go watch this video. It's all in one place for them to look at. And, you can't guarantee, it's not like a guarantee watch for them. Like, you don't know if they watch the YouTube video or not, just like anything that you do in the classroom. So it's not like Edpuzzle, you don't know if they watch the YouTube video or not, but you can at least give it to them there. And I like that the different resources, you don't always have the type of question. Like a lot of times I'll put in like a little note in between the questions like, hey, did you watch that video up ahead? And it'll be able to silly reminders of you should probably watch the video for help. Let's see, what else did I like? I've had a lot of success with it. I have like 120 students altogether, and I had 100 kids out of 120 access Go Formative and successfully do it. So I just like it because, again, it's all in one spot and it's so easy for them. So just the feedback tools have been phenomenal, to where it's just so specific for them. So, and then I know a lot of teachers have been doing grid teaching. That's just like a new kind of style of teaching that we've adopted. So let's say a kid is ahead of everyone else and you want to teach a lesson to them, but you aren't quite there yet with the rest of the class. You can record yourself teaching and then all the questions will be right there. So it's a way for some kids to get ahead if you utilize it that way and continue the distance learning focus.
Thank you. Can one of you talk about quickly, I know they have a library of resources as well, like pre-made already lessons.
Chelsea, do you want to tackle that? It's up to you. I don't know if she's frozen or not. So I stumbled upon the library. It's at the top tab. I don't know if I have it pulled up or not, but you can literally hit library and you can search for whatever subject you're teaching. Like I searched inequalities the other day, and there's this one guy who had tons and tons and tons of public resources for you to pick from, just like any other technological site you look at. There's free resources all the time out there, like Edpuzzle and whatnot. So you can edit them, or you can just straight up use your own copy of it. And it's really cool to see what other like teachers are using. I didn't realize how many resource types that you can add into it. Like you can add in an actual worksheet to your Go Formative and have the kids draw on it, which is super cool. And I didn't learn that until I would search in the library. So there's other public resources in any subject you can think of that you can search on there. And it's all free for you. Chelsea's going to show us. She's on mute, and I don't think she realizes it.
Almost.
There you go. I was like, why is she not even talking?
Okay, there we go. It wasn't popping up, sorry. Okay, so this is the library. So at the top, you have your formative, you have your classes, your tracker, and the library. So if we wanted to click on weather, so maybe we want to do weathering and erosion. So this is the formative somebody else. So you can add it to your list, or you can steal questions from it. So if I want to add it to my formative list, I can go and make a copy of it, and I can combine the formatives or edit this one and add different things on there. What's nice is that in your tracker, so I don't have any data. So let's see here. I'm not.
I always hit just all at the bottom, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's not going to let me. Okay, so if I look at, for example, the old one that I have. So if I look at this, like this was a tab, you have all of your information saved. And it's also nice that you can preview them as a student. So this is one that I made. So this is what the student would see, all the different questions on there. Let's see here. And then what else? If I want to view the responses, so another thing about the responses, you can view the totals, so of the student, or you can click a specific question. So if you want to look at all of them at the same time, what the students attempted, that feature is really nice. So it's kind of like, it has the same features as like a Paradox, where you can see in real time as they're going, but this doesn't have to be a PowerPoint. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. So if we go back to let's see here.
And just something like the ease of creation is, I mean, would you rate it an easy build as you're building assignments. You weren't really, I know sometimes trying something new can be intimidating. There's a lot of different options with this. I do want to put it out there. There is a free, like I know Chelsea said, there is a free version and there is a paid version. I think the free version gives you a lot of tools, and then obviously there's an exception. The paid version gives you some even more question options that you can utilize.
I did the free month trial of the paid version right now, and I think if I'm looking at Chelsea's, I mean, I was using it basic use right now, and I don't think I've used anything that I think there's an option to where you can change the question order, but even then I haven't really used that because I have videos and stuff, and I want the videos and the questions in a specific order to where they're watching and then answering, so I haven't even used that, I don't think, because you can still upload your own PDF document, like a worksheet with the free version and whatnot, and you can still search the library. So I haven't really seen the use of not using just the free one. So,
and I would say for content, it says like to add an audio, but if you create your own videos anyways, or you use a YouTube video, there's really no need to add your own audio because your video can do that. And I know a lot of us have used Screencastify, and it works really well with GoFormative. So I have like a bunch of videos. So if I just click on my Screencastify and I copy the link, I don't know if it's going to work. And I can post the video very quickly into it. So I click on one of my videos here, and it loads. So here's a video I have. I copy the shareable link, and then I go to add a video. Obviously, this doesn't go with our weather theme, but I just paste it right in there and update it. Oh, that's the GoForm. I didn't copy the link. Sorry. There we go. Copy the link, and then all it is a copy paste, and your video is there. You click update, and there's the video that I've created. So there, I found like of all the like new technology or different things to use and add, this one is really simple. It's really, a lot of it's just like copy and paste, or take a screenshot. That's all I did here is I found a weather close read, and I took a screenshot of it, saved it to my computer, and added it as a image, and that's all that weather forecast is. So, and then go ahead.
I just like seeing all that is so beautiful, and like it took me so long to figure out how to do different types of questions. Like I would just suggest starting so simple with like a true or false or a multiple question formative for your students, just so they at least can get used to how it works and whatnot, and then working your way up to adding different types of questions. Like I didn't even know that you could add videos into it. Like I saw it, but I didn't really utilize the button. I didn't know you could add videos until I was just searching for other people's resources they already did. So I would definitely suggest just starting very simple and doing, if you want to give it a try, doing a multiple choice type one.
Yeah. And what's nice is you can also, for later use, if you wanted to, like for data collection, every one of the questions that you add, you can add a standard and you can search the standard. So mine's set up for math, obviously, because that's what I use. So all of my 8th grade math standards are listed here because I set my account up to say that I'm an 8th grade math teacher. So all of them, for example, if this was standard, it would link to it, and then it'll show you have data based off of those standards as well. Delete that. But and linking for Google Classroom, the only kind of hiccup that I've had in the past is that you have to make sure that when you are adding your classes, or if you have a new student join, you need to make sure you update on your Google Classroom when you sync it. So here's my Google Classrooms. And then you can see it. Obviously, if your student numbers don't match up, then someone's hiding. So you can also, and it's real simple. You just hit Google Classroom Sync and click your account, and then they should be uploaded. And you can click to import. And then all of your Google Classrooms that you're attached to will post. So.
I think someone asked a question, what do you use to make your videos? I know Chelsea, I think you use Screencastify for yours.
Yeah, the videos in this, so if I go back to that formative, the videos that were there originally, I just went to YouTube and I just searched like 6th grade weather. And so that's where this weather instruments one came from. And I just went on the YouTube, the URL at the top of the screen, I just copy pasted that in there. However, Screencastify is where I grabbed that math video that I posted in here.
If you guys like to use Google Meet to like record yours, because a lot of times for like a math example, I'll just open one of these up with myself, record my screen, and then screen share like a little whiteboard. That will save, your Google Meets will save to Drive the same way Screencastify would. So you would just download it to your computer and pull it from there the same way that she did. So it's pretty versatile with whatever video recording thing that you guys would use.
What's that called again?
Screencastify. It's you download it from the Chrome store, and then it's always like in the, you can see it's always up in my toolbar. So anytime, so for example, if I wanted to make a video of us video chatting, I could just hit record and it would record anything on my screen. You can put your webcam in there, or you can just screen record your screen. And then all of your videos, they save to your, so this is like, you can edit the video, you can stop it, you can cut it, share it directly to Classroom or YouTube, but I just use the shareable link, and that's how I use it for Classroom. And then all of your recordings are just kind of in a bank, and they save to Google Drive as well.
Very good.
Yep.
So as you're seeing, if you were able to code yesterday and today, like a lot of these tools integrate very well with each other. So if you're obviously a lot of our classwork's done through Google Classroom. Go Formative integrates well with it. It's already part of it. Flipgrid did as well yesterday. And as you're using these tools, you're going to see that there is an ease of being able to transfer that information really quickly. I really appreciate, Samantha and Chelsea showing us exactly what they've been using with Go Formative. I think it's a great tool for one, in real time, being able to see that, being able to set up those questions.
As far as grading goes, I know if you guys are like paper
It really
people,
is an ease in which you're able to pull resources, whether it's worksheets or the easy platform to use, and it can be question. We're gonna, if not, second round of our mini PDs. Thank you.
Hey, could you, Chelsea, could you show me how to, or Sam, could you show me how to make one problem with Go Formative, like a math problem? Like they would see if I was, because I have a book, I left it at school, and it was like for progress monitoring for math, and they had different types of problems. Like, could you show me how you could set one up real quick? I've been trying to do that, and I'm getting all, I was clicking on, like, I guess you could look at somebody else's work, but I don't know how to use, like, get the problems over to what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I'm saying.
Well, a lot of things, if it's like a picture or a graph or something like that, then you could take a picture of it, and then it would be the show your work question. So you just click on that type, and then for its edit background, when you open that up, you can insert the image, and then the question will be above it. So let me share this screen real quick, and I'll be able to go through that real quick.
So it's all just about like playing around with the question types. Multiple choice is always like the one to go.
So I'll just add a question here,
And
then that would be a show your work.
Yeah.
And then you can type in the question, So if I want to add a question here, you click on the image, like almost like it would be in Word or anything else. If you want to add an image, the little, and then you have to have it saved. So if I, for example, had this image here and I want to dilate it so the kids can graph right on here.
Yeah.
This isn't big enough, but so their new point, they would just hit the color button and they could put a point here. So V prime. So then they would just draw right onto it. So like here would be the new point. So if I added that picture there, you would say graph the dilated figure below. And then that would be the question. And then they would be able to click on the screen of that triangle and they would plot the new figure.
And then I would be able to see that after when they
right.
They
so
go
then
back
if you,
and look at the problem.
Right. So if I look at my view responses, and so if that was, I don't know what question it was, but so for example, we had this one. This is a show your work. So see how they drew on that picture. They drew the line. So this is what it would look like. And then you can, if you click on a specific one, so then I can grade it. So if, for example, if this was 100% correct, then I literally just slide it and put the 1 point, and then I can type feedback. I could say great job, or whatever you would like to say. Or if you say, oh, the compass, that's not the right definition of a compass, or something like that.
All right, that's cool. Thank you.
No problem.
The snip tool is like what I would use. Just if I like pull up a worksheet on Google or whatever, would just like the snipping tool would just do wonders, and you can just save it to whatever picture you want. How do you snip on a? It's like there's like 3 different buttons you have to click. Plus, you know that answer by heart by now. I don't remember how to snip on a Chromebook.
It's a control.
Hey Sam, can I use this to snip the paper?
That'll work. Innovative.
Go ahead, Chelsea.
For screenshot, isn't it Control Shift and the toggle screen, like the square with the 2 lines on a Chromebook? Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
All right. Again, I appreciate our 2 amazing presenters doing a great job showing us another tool. So thanks again to Ms. Fodor and Ms. Schollenbachler. You guys did an amazing job. Thank you.
Stick around if anyone has any questions.
Hey, I have a question. Sorry, I just finally got myself. I know how to screenshot, but